You're listening to the Really Very Crunchy podcast with your hosts, Emily
and Jason.
And we're still camping.
We're still at Pohick Bay Regional Park, which I could say because we're not there anymore.
Well, a few people messaged me and asked where we were staying, and I just told them, and then I thought, that really could be anybody.
Who's that
this
person
campground's really not very big.
Very slowly.
And our camper is just canvas.
Yeah.
So we...
Knives can stick through very easily in that.
People could still be coming. That's actually my biggest fear. I don't know if I mentioned this last time. Did you say that? Because I've told you.
Yeah.
Like, just that someone's going to come up to the side where we're sleeping and stick a knife in. I don't know.
I think what you told me was our little campfire poker. Didn't you? So, like, they're just sitting outside the canvas and poke it right through onto my head. Didn't you say that?
Nope.
Okay.
That wasn't me. Maybe that was one of the kids.
Oh, maybe.
Why would I be scared of that?
They're sharp.
Nope. Knives are sharper.
Depends on not our kitchen knives.
True. But that's a safety feature.
Yeah. We've always said that if our kitchen knives were actually sharp, Emily wouldn't have any fingers.
It's true. I cut myself with the dullest of knives. I don't even understand how I cut myself sometimes. I'm like, it's not cutting the bell pepper. How did it cut me?
Speaking of, a creepy truck just drove by right now. Very
Going
slowly.
Slow. Well, I appreciate that they're going slowly because there have been multiple people. I have turned into a junior park ranger, I feel like. I say that because our kids are doing the junior park ranger programs anywhere we go. No, people speed through this campground and I just give the dirtiest looks. I just turn, glare, stare at them as they're passing.
Yeah.
You know what you did.
Yeah. They're
I've had to get on to some people on this trip. Like,
who else?
Well, we were playing at the playground in the it's not the campground. It's just the
outside.
park.
Yeah.
And there were kids, Oaks' age, about 7 years old. One of them called our 4-year-old a dumb B word. Yeah. I was like, excuse me? What did you say? We will not be using that kind of language here. It is actually a rule that you use family-friendly vernacular when you are in a playground. And if you have a problem with it, I will go get an employee who will enforce the rules.
And then Alder's like running around saying, he called me dumb. His innocent little self doesn't know the rest of it. He called me dumb.
Did he say that to you?
Yeah.
Oh.
I heard him say it to you when we were talking about it.
I just couldn't believe it. And then I kept hearing it. So then we were going to leave. We did eventually leave because they just weren't leaving and they weren't listening to me. Yeah. And I didn't know where an employee was.
They start, dumb, crunchy mom.
Yeah.
Like they start yelling at you.
Another mom came up to me and was like, thank you for getting onto them. I could not believe the language. Yeah.
Well, stand up, Mom. Come on.
I did.
Work together, both of you.
What are we going to do? Go onto the playground and pick them up and make them sit in timeout or something?
I mean, moms of the past would have. This was a different era, certainly.
I mean, I'm not saying everything was bright and sunny and eras gone by, but
certainly not.
I'm just
World Wars,
saying that
Vietnam.
There was some respect. There was
Korean
a certain level of respect that is gone.
It's also during the bloodiest age of the world has ever seen.
There was a little bit
At
of
least
respect.
kids were respectful. We may have lost 405,000 lives in World War II, but darn it, kids were respectful.
I mean, you have to wonder what was going on at home that made them so respectful.
You don't respect me, you're going to go off to war.
I don't know. No, that's not what I meant, but okay. Anyway, moving on. War Babies. Have you ever seen that movie, listener?
What?
War Babies? Don't you remember that?
I
It was
have never heard of this.
Yes, we watched it.
What?
Yes.
I didn't watch this.
Yes, you did. It was a Shirley Temple movie.
Oh.
Yes, and there's a little cute little boy. They're like
Yes,
in a
snake in the
war.
grass?
Yeah, old snake in the grass.
Yeah, okay.
And Shirley Temple's just so adorable.
Uh-huh.
Okay, my friend said that she thinks Alder is Shirley Temple, like a boy version of Shirley Temple.
Okay.
So I'm going to try and view him through that adorable light. And maybe when he's having a hard time, like he was this evening, if I just see Shirley Temple, it'll make everything better.
This feels weird. I don't think I can go there. Shirley Temple, Shirley Temple, Shirley Temple, Shirley Temple. I'm like, oh.
But that movie was weird.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of want to watch it
It's
again.
like babies and adult workplaces posters from the office that Angela had on her wall. That's what it kind of feels like. The kids dressed up in their saxophone, like playing a saxophone with the top hat, and I don't know.
I see where you're going with that, but
That's what it felt like. I mean, because they're acting like adults, right?
yeah, it was cute though. The
well-
posters weren't cute.
Well, that's what I'm kind of saying, is that neither one of them were cute. It's just really
I
off-putting.
actually was into that. Like, I think it's Anne Geeds. I'm not sure if that's how you say her name. With all the babies and the dressed up stuff.
No.
And I was into that for a little
No.
while. I was probably like 9 years old. I thought that was cool.
Huh.
Yeah.
Not me. Not when I was 9.
I would hope not. That would be kind of strange of you.
Yeah. Well, we have traveled all over Washington, D.C., and I still feel like we haven't seen much.
Haven't even scratched the surface.
Not even scratched
Everybody's
the surface.
like, did you go to such and such museum?
Like, oh, no.
Nope.
And I've been
I guess
looking
we
for
could-
the Illuminati signs everywhere. And
Oh,
I
you have?
I haven't seen them.
I didn't even look.
I mean, I don't have a sharp eye for it. They're not recruiting me for the next National Treasure movie.
I should have looked because I am more like,
Yeah, observant.
yeah.
Yeah. But the video we made of the space shuttle thing kind of blew up this week, and there's 8,000 comments on Instagram. Most of them saying that the particular piece we are commenting on was the orbiter and not the lander, because in the video, Oaks asked, "Hey, Mama, is that what landed on the moon or whatever?" And you say, "That's what they say." I would say that most of the views that have been driven for that video is a lot of dudes in their 30s really, really wanting the world to know that they know that is the orbiter and not the lander. It's a lot of
Thank you,
middle
dudes.
30s dudes who just really know
I
that.
really thought that
They
the
know that
plaque
so much.
said that.
I actually remember just the wording of that when I had Oaks, when he recorded that, I went based off of the plaque, because on the same plaque it was saying this landed.
Mm-hmm.
And so it could have been talking about a different thing, but showing the thing that orbited. But upon reflection, yeah, whatever. I don't know.
That's not the point of the video.
No, it's not.
So
You're really just
Bleh.
taking words that we're saying and like
nitpicking.
nitpicking. Like,
Yeah.
okay, well, the point is, did we go to the moon? And
And we're not getting into that.
we're not getting into that. That's for a different episode.
That would be far, far more travel than we have ever done.
I love that segue. I don't know. It's only like 200 something thousand miles from the Earth. You think we've traveled 200,000 miles? No.
I'd say not.
No.
How many miles is the Earth around?
25,000.
So we've like circled the earth twice.
Yeah, sort of, except we kind of went up and then down because we were going to Korea, and so we kind of went from Chicago over Alaska and then down, and then from Korea to Europe, from Europe to back to America.
Circling the globe.
I know, but you're kind of going up and down, so I don't know if that adds miles. Does that add miles or take away miles? I don't really know how circles work. Spheres work.
But there's no way
It's actually not a perfect sphere, the Earth.
Yeah.
It's flat. I'm kidding.
If you're watching on YouTube, you saw my face like, what? If you're not watching on YouTube, sorry.
No. Apparently, it's not actually even a perfect sphere. It's actually larger in the middle because of, Neil deGrasse Tyson. By the time this podcast has come out, you will have already spoken at the Wellness Collective. We'll be past Pennsylvania, and from there, still don't know, still haven't planned. Not sure where we're going to be, but we'll eventually end up in Maine.
It's cool. We met another family that is traveling to Maine. They're actually just a couple campsites down. They gave us some tips because they went last year and had a great time, which is one really cool thing about traveling is always like meeting new and different kinds of people who can give you advice. And
something very sad happened this week. Really one of the first times we really traveled. After going through Europe and then coming back to the U.S., we met a couple friend. We've talked about them before, who are in their 70s. Mm-hmm. And one of our dear friends, Susie, passed away this week. And we met her on a cruise ship from England to Florida. And I just really wanted to say that because she meant a lot to us.
She was really special. She always said to me, like right when she met me, she said, "You have the it factor." And I don't really know what that means, but she thought I was something special and it made me feel special. And so then like when this account blew up, she messaged me. She's like, "I told you, you've got it."
Yeah.
It was just really sweet.
She never told me that. She sat, we were sitting across from each other. She looked at you, she looked at me, and she looked at you again, said, "You have the it factor." And that's why everybody asks me to hold the phone and take the picture when they meet you.
That guy at the Washington Monument, this guy was so excited. And he did not even give Jason
No, I took the picture.
A second look. I mean, you were like, I can take the picture for you. He's like, yeah, here.
They basically just tossed the phone at me now. Here, peasant. Take the picture. Make sure it's good.
Well, then you were like, do you want it between you, to the side? He's like, just take it.
Yeah. The monument. Do you want the monument between? Just take the picture, dude. Like, I'm not just some random guy. I'm married to this woman. I think he was going in for a hug, too, and I saw you sidestep it.
No. I tried to high-five him, and he left me hanging.
Jerk. I hope you listen to this podcast.
I did put my arm around him, but then, like, okay, I always thought if someone asked to get their picture with me, that's giving me free reign to put my arm around them, right?
No, you got to do the Keanu Reeves.
What's that?
It's you
hover?
You hover.
What?
Yeah. If somebody ever gets a picture with me, I hover.
You do?
I hover. Yeah. I learned it from Keanu Reeves.
I just like put my hand on them.
No.
Like
don't do that.
Even sometimes stick it in their armpit, like not on purpose. Well,
you're a little too close to these people.
I know. One time this girl put her arm under my armpit and I was sweaty and I was like, "I'm so sorry. I got armpit sweat on you." She's like, "It's fine. I'm sweating too." So then I stuck my arm under her armpit to wipe her sweat on my arm to make it even.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I'm weird.
That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
She laughed.
Well, I guess you'll do anything for a laugh. Ugh. That's disgusting. No, hover
I
all
never
day
thought
long.
I never
hover.
thought anything about it. I'm just giving you a little side hug. Well,
No.
then I put my arm around somebody and they said, "Do you mind if I touch you?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course. Go for it." Because we were taking a picture together. And I was like, "Do you mind if I touch you?" And she was like, "Well, I don't really like it." Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Default to the hover.
I
Now,
can't.
yeah, I mean, I can see it being more a guy just not wanting to,
I think I hovered on him,
be
though. I
inappropriate
feel like
or
I
something.
did.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So actually, another time, this guy asked me, he was like, "Oh, can I get a picture with you? My wife will love it." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I got right in there and like swung my arm around him. And then I was like, "You're sending this picture to your wife. I'm actually just going to step to the side."
Yeah. Just hover.
Jeez.
Just hover. New motto of the year. Just hover.
Yeah.
You're going to be at the Wellness Collective? Just hover.
Nah, those girls want a hug.
Okay.
We'll see.
No, it's just you get in a picture. I'm always like this.
Why are you hovering then? Why isn't your arm next to you?
Because your arm, it's awkward. It needs to look like a hug without actually hugging. It's kind of like your arm needs to go somewhere. It doesn't need to go on their back, their shoulder, or butt.
I'm never going to put it on their butt.
Yes, but that's why you hover.
Back,
You don't want any
shoulder,
accidents either. You
arm.
don't want any accidents. You got to bring your arm back around your hand. No accidents. You hover. You just hover.
I'm sorry, I can't. Also, you're way taller than everybody.
Just
So
hover.
I hover way down like at their waist?
Yeah.
No.
No, you do not grab them by the waist.
Really?
I wouldn't.
I think I have. I grabbed the small of their back.
It depends. Like when you're talking about opposite sexes, I mean, you definitely hover. I mean, if it's, just a girl at the Wellness Collective, I mean, I would still hover, but, you do you.
I'll ask. At the Wellness Collective. Do you prefer a hover?
Like if a guy came up and wanted to get a picture with me,
You'd put your arm on their shoulder?
More likely, yeah.
Okay, well, I've only
guess that
taken a
makes
picture
sense.
with like 3 guys.
I guess that makes more sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'd probably still hover just to be safe. I don't want a male Me Too movement starting with me. Yeah. Well, this has been an interesting way to travel. We were talking about it the other day, and we have, this isn't one of them, but we have sold all of our stuff and moved 4 times. Now, we've moved like 15 times.
Yeah.
Or more.
But where
in our
we
marriage.
actually just sold everything.
But there have been
got
4
rid of it.
instances after being married where we have sold everything we owned, where we owned nothing more than what fit in our suitcase, and moved.
What was the first one? Georgia?
Korea.
Yeah, going to Korea.
No, because we actually had a U-Haul for Georgia.
Yeah, that's what I meant. No, going to Korea.
Yeah.
I actually remember it was like the night before we were leaving, and we were still clearing out our stuff. We carried this heavy chair. It was a chair and a half, and it had a fold-out bed in it. And if you've carried something with a fold-out bed, you know how horrible it is.
It was really sad to get rid of that, too.
That was the coolest chair ever.
I've never seen one like it.
I know. It was comfy, too.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we carried that chair like a mile. Do you remember that?
It was, in
the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So weird.
Why didn't
for us.
we get
We
a
took it to-
dolly?
We took it to a shop.
Why didn't we just leave it in the apartment? Say, you guys can have it.
That's annoying for a landlord.
So?
That's super
It's annoying to carry a fold-out chair to a dump.
It wasn't to a dump. We took it to a shop.
That shop was a dump.
We took like all this stuff in the middle of the night and left it by the back door, which is probably equally annoying, except they could sell it.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Huh. Okay.
I
was
remember
one.
that. So we didn't make much money there.
Well,
'cause we
the
weren't
second
really-
one was leaving Korea after the second year.
Mm-hmm.
You had to sell everything and fit everything back in your
We
suitcase.
didn't really sell it.
Over 2
We
years. No, you
mostly-
give it away.
We just left it because
Well,
every
that's-
time
okay,
they said
well-
we were moving into a furnished apartment, and every time it wasn't actually
But over
furnished.
2 years living there,
Yeah.
we gathered
We accumulated quite a bit. Yeah.
stuff, and then leaving, we left it all.
Yeah, we didn't sell it though. We just left it.
Okay, fine. We'll sold all our stuff out and got rid of all our stuff. Put that in. We actually went through the whole house, put stickers on everything, and said, "Come on in." We had an indoor yard sale.
Yeah.
It was pretty genius.
Estate sale.
Well, we didn't own the estate, so we were renting the apartment. So
I mean, but that's what you would call it. And it really wasn't.
I like
much of
indoor
one.
yard sale.
We didn't have a lot of
Bringing
stuff.
the yard inside.
We didn't have much. So
Felt
it
like
wasn't
it.
really hard.
Got rid of all of my Seinfeld DVDs.
It's going to be worth some money someday.
Somebody got a good deal on 9 seasons of Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Somebody bought them too.
Really?
Yeah. Probably sold them for like $5. Not each. Just like, yeah, we can't take it.
And then the last time was when we sold our RV, which that's the only time I regret selling a couple things. First of all, we had this map. It was a scratch off map. And we were scratching off everywhere we had been. And we just left that hanging in the RV. Because if we had taken it down, it would have been weird. It was in the bathroom.
Yeah.
You don't remember, do you?
I do remember.
And then there was a needle point of some sheep that my aunt made when she was, I don't know, 20 or something. It was really cute. It was
Why
a
did you
really
leave that?
special needle because it looked cute in there. Like the room was a kind of designed around this little needle point in the bedroom. And
I did not know that.
yeah,
You never expressed it to me.
I'm really sad about it. I loved that little needle point. So that. And then there was a little mounted antler, and it was crooked.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like one of the antlers was much longer than the other side, and I liked that a lot. And we left that. And we left a picture of ourselves on the wall,
Yep.
which is kind of weird.
Never forget who owned this last.
Actually, there's more than that we left in there that I kind of regret. That little gallery wall was full of little vintage treasures, but looked good, so I just left it.
You did a really great job of, not letting me in on that at all. I had no idea you were that sad about it. About those things.
Well, I really try not to be sad about things
Yeah.
because this world is so temporary and I break things all the time. I mean, like, I just can't really get attached to things.
Yeah.
But just some of it was sort of sentimental. Just mostly the needle point
Yeah.
when it comes down to it.
What is your favorite part about having traveled all over the world? What do you feel like it gives you? What do you glean from it?
I don't know. I think it helps you appreciate everything more.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, I know we've mentioned it before. It makes like regular life a little dull.
Yeah. I think living in other cultures, I would suggest if anybody can, you should travel abroad. If you can.
And if you can, live abroad. Because traveling abroad and living abroad are totally different.
They are. If you can live abroad, do it.
Just
If you can
even
travel
for a
abroad,
short time.
Yeah. Because I think living in other cultures makes you kind of question your own.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because when you like never thought about certain aspects of your culture that maybe aren't the best, and then you're enlightened once you go to another culture.
At least enlightened in the sense that you see that there are different perspectives in the world, and that your small town perspective is not the only one.
I can totally see that.
One thing that's actually negative for me is I think having traveled as much as we have, it makes me not care about much local stuff, which might just be me. Mm-hmm. Because I was also nomadic as a child in a way. We moved a lot when I was a kid. I have never, as an adult, cared about anything local.
What do you mean you don't care about anything local?
I don't know anybody in politics locally.
Oh, so politically. But you do care about supporting local artisans, small businesses.
Oh, sure. I just mean like I couldn't tell you who my city council is. I can't.
I think that's
we live out in the county anyway.
A lot of people. I don't think that's just you.
Yeah.
You can say the mayor, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Who?
Mr. Bray.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you anything about him.
Yeah.
Something to do with the airport. I think.
He had something to do with the airport?
Who knows? We have an airport?
Is he the reason we have different flight paths?
He could be.
I will
Actually, probably
be
not
voting
because
for
now
him
he's
again.
not with the airport. But he could have been. He might have changed it when he was in the airport business. I have no idea.
I absolutely hate that now airplanes fly over our house, directly over our house, somewhat low.
Our kids love it.
I just hate it. I really hate it.
Well, just think. It's just a bunch of people traveling. Isn't it wonderful?
It is really sweet. One time our kid, what was he, like 5 or 4 at the time? Or was it Alder? Look, I think it was Alder, and I think he was 3. And he looked up and he said, I wish I was going where those people were going. So cute. I was like, me too, buddy. That's what I think every time I see an airplane.
Yeah.
I wish I was on that.
Yeah. I think that too. And I'm actually starting to question why, as we're in this, I'm starting to question why we're not just on the constant travel.
Community.
Well, you have one.
Yeah, I've worked to build a community and the boys' friends, which being here, I see they can make friends anywhere.
That's one thing I noticed tonight while they were playing on the playground at this park with like 10 other kids. I'm thinking, okay, 7 and 4-year-olds can just make friends everywhere. That's
some of them
awesome.
Are special.
You could
friends,
invite
though.
all those kids over for a birthday party and it would be a blast.
That's true.
They'd be like, yeah, we're having a birthday party in the park. Just put a sign in the front. You'll have 10 kids there. They might not have gifts, but you get to feed them cake and you play games. It's all the same.
I guess you're right.
Kids don't need specific friends.
The kid who like camped out next to us,
they're best buds.
They were best buds immediately.
And they'll never see each other again.
Yeah.
And they don't care.
Well, Oaks
They
cares.
barely care. He won't
I don't
care
think
next
the other
week.
kid cared. Yeah, probably not.
It's awesome.
But as they get older,
I'm like, okay, we're selling the house. We're buying a big RV. We're going.
See, I'm not interested in selling the house and buying a big RV. Sell the house, buy a smaller house so that you have a home base, just in case.
Home bases are overrated.
Nah. And then just stay with the pop-up.
Your home base is the RV.
The pop-up's working.
Yeah, it works. Like a tiny house will work too if you have to. But I'd rather live in a mansion if I could.
So
I want the mansion version of an RV.
And you just want to travel around the U.S.? See, I'm more interested in moving.
Here's something interesting. Did you ever... Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I know you're more interested in moving to Europe or something like that. I get it. But did you ever see that video of that British guy who said... He just kind of like flips out and says, there's a reason Americans don't travel abroad. And it's because America's giant. And that cultures are different from state to state. And it's like they move. He lives in Britain, and it takes him 45 minutes, and he can be in France, and he can be in Germany. Americans don't have to travel outside of the U.S. in order to travel. And we have everything. mountains,
I get it.
valleys,
It is beautiful.
deserts.
America is incredibly gorgeous, and I've seen much of it. We're coming up on seeing all
50 states.
50 states except for Hawaii.
We'll get there.
So, yeah, I know. It's beautiful, but there's something about the old culture, the old history and
Yeah.
beauty and charm that comes with that.
1700s doesn't do it for you. You got to go all the way back to the 1400s.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
There's something different.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's true. But
1700s is cool too.
I would say though, like, I mean, you can encourage people to travel abroad all you want, and all I want. But the truth is, it's extremely expensive.
Especially now. I think everything has gone up, and that's just
It's so expensive.
yeah.
It's ridiculous how much it costs to get over there and then do anything of significance.
Because you can't, like, people can really only take off for a week or two, maybe. It depends on your job. But whenever you were working full time at Mr. Cool, you only got a week of vacation.
Yeah, I got up to like a week and a half after a few years.
So you fly over there, takes a couple days, really.
Yeah, I would never do it.
The travel process.
I wouldn't do it as a regular work day if I couldn't work from home. I don't think, which we haven't, by the way. We still haven't been to Europe since 2012, so it's been 12 years. I mean, it made a huge impact on us.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would love to.
It is so expensive.
It's so expensive.
And I am not really the type of person that can leave my children in a different country while I go. I can't. Like, I can barely leave my kids in the church nursery.
I could.
You could? You could leave your children and go. I mean, there are lots of people
Wait,
who
how
can.
long are we in a different country?
A week, two? A week or two?
I could do 5 weeks.
You could leave your kids with someone else for
Okay.
5 weeks.
Well, yeah, 8. Probably 8 weeks. 2 months.
What?
10.
Stop.
12?
What are you doing?
I think I could do 12.
Months?
Yeah. No. 12 weeks.
I couldn't. I'm sorry.
No.
I couldn't do 12 days.
Of course I couldn't,
do
Emily.
12 hours.
Of course. Well, I could do 12 hours. No. I've been away from my kids for a week.
Mm-hmm. When were you away from them for a week?
Traveling for work.
Oh, yeah.
And I hated it.
Really?
I mean, I enjoyed not having to deal with certain behaviors during that time. I did enjoy that, but no, anytime I've ever been away, I've missed them terribly. And
Mine's not really a missing thing. It's a worry thing.
oh, you wouldn't miss your kids? You would just worry about them?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean,
See, I love mine.
I
would
love
actually
mine.
I actually miss them.
It's just a different thing. I'm with them all day, every day. And I know, like, whenever I went to the Wild and Free conference thing, you know, like, some moms were, like, saying they miss their kids so much. I honestly really didn't miss them or worry about them because, what? You think I'm a bad mom because I didn't miss my kids?
You didn't miss them even a little bit?
You know, we're in a hard season with one of our kids.
May they never hear this episode.
I love them deeply, but I knew I was going home and I was going to see them in 2 days.
So if you were worry-free, if there was a way for it to be worry-free.
There's not without one of us there.
I understand. If there was actually a way for there to be worry-free, you could be gone from your kids for 6 months.
No, because I would miss them. Jason,
you wouldn't miss them.
I was gone one night. 1 night. 2 days, 1 night.
And you didn't miss them.
Didn't have the chance.
Yeah. Well, you know, you're getting called up on stage talking about kids getting eaten by the goat man. So
it was just a monster that ate him. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's better.
Not only were you making stories about monsters eating children, you weren't missing yours. Think about that. You're a wonderful mother. Hear the crickets?
Have you ever been away just one night? Just one night?
Probably.
I don't think so. Every time you've left, it's been for a week.
Yeah, for weddings. I have for weddings before.
Do you miss them?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
I do.
When you go to a wedding, you do not.
I feel sad that I'm not getting to say goodnight to them in person.
Okay, well, yeah, I felt that.
That's missing them.
No, it's not. Missing them is, I wish I was there. Right?
I mean, I don't think it's a specific thing. I think it's just you miss their company. You miss being around them. It doesn't have to be, I wish I was there or I wish they were here. I just wish I was around them somehow.
Yeah, I didn't feel that. Not for one night.
Yeah.
One night.
What, is there a mom code or something? Like you're given one night of not having to miss your kids before you're
classified as a terrible mother.
Does it go straight to terrible?
You're not
if
worthy.
I don't miss my kids for 3 nights, what am I? Because I've been away from my kids for 6 and I didn't miss them at all. What am I? I think traveling has opened up friendships that will last a lifetime. And because we have made friends who live in Florida all the way to the West Coast. We have friends that are still in Korea, and we still consider them friends. We even wrote a song about her one time. And I think that's really special. And it's a weird type of friendship, the people you meet along the way.
Yes.
Because there's an understanding that you may never see them again. And yet you still feel so close to them.
Yes, you know going in that it's temporary. That is a different kind of friendship.
Yeah.
Kind of strange. But
see, that
also, I think it makes you capitalize on the relationship.
Yeah.
Seize the moment a little more.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Because
I think so.
You know that, like, this is your Christmas together. You're not going to get another one. So then there are the people who you're forced to be around while you're traveling that you don't actually develop deep relationships with, but it's kind of awkward when they think you're friends and you're not.
We're friends, right?
Jason was getting a talking to, like getting some feedback about his attitude, his lack of gratitude.
That was weird.
That was weird. Anyway, they had this guy come up to Jason. The Korean teachers, and he was like, "Hey, we're friends, right?"
Well, this guy was American. He was
yeah. But it was the Korean teachers that asked him to talk to you. I don't even remember what that was about. It wasn't about your attitude. It was about, well, sort of.
No, that was about the guy not paying us.
Yeah, he said he was going to pay us. And
it was $900 we never got, and I was mad about it.
Hey, we're friends, right? No, give me my money.
Well, the American guy comes up and he wants to start the conversation. It's like, okay, man, I'm going to level with you. We're friends, right? And I just stare at him. Probably not enough for the conversation we're about to have. But go on. And that conversation did not go well.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you're the type of person who's not going to make it easy on someone.
I'm not going to make it easy on somebody who's going to start a conversation with a talking to by saying, we're friends, right? It depends on what you're about to say to me.
This will make it or break it.
This might make it or break it, Justin. Do your worst.
See, somebody's giving me a talking to, and it's like, we're friends, right? Yes, the very best of friends. In fact, I think all friendships
should be based on this one.
Yes.
We're such close friends. No, I want to make them sweat. Be like, you tell me, are we friends? You tell me.
You do that in our marriage too, though.
What?
Not the friend thing.
You love me, right? What's for dinner?
No. It's like, I have a really hard time doing ads. I hate selling things. Even if I love a product, I hate selling it. And so you were telling me that I need to make a story about this product because we agreed to do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't like doing this. It's very hard for me. And so then I said, why don't you make it? You make it, Jason. And you tell me how you think I should make it.
Record it exactly how you think it should be made. Yeah.
Yeah. So then it was much harder for you, wasn't it? And you were trying to kind of make me sweat. Like that was the kind of situation I'm talking about. You're like, fine, I will. You know?
How is that like that?
It is just, I'm just saying.
How am I doing that in our marriage then? We're friends, right? You tell me. How am I doing that in the marriage? We're married, right?
No.
You tell me.
No, it's when I remember whenever I was like telling you this, you're just giving me the stink eye. Like you're just staring at me, not
Is it really that hard
yeah.
to do to read this thing?
Read it?
To say this thing? Come on. Talk about it.
That's what you do.
Love
You're like,
it.
Just talk about it.
Just talk about it.
No, not kind like that.
Oh. Just talk about it.
No, not like that. That's weird.
Just talk about it. Will you just get on the phone and talk about it and post it in your stories? Get to work. I'm over here as an overlord. Get to your job, really, very crunchy. Do it. That's what this podcast is.
Basically.
I looked up all the benefits of travel. And it's like the benefits of everything else. It's like
lower stress.
Yeah, exactly.
Happier. Better breathing.
Yeah, I keep
better toe splay.
Every time I look up the benefits of something, I think I'm going to find something profound about it, and it's always a lack of stress. Yeah,
you're just a generally happier
better.
person.
And it's like, okay.
But isn't that what we're all striving for? Like, we just want to feel good. We don't want to be stressed. We want to sleep good.
No, I just thought it was
the root
I thought it was
of
just funny.
It is funny.
Makes you more creative, and like so does that pillow. You know.
Makes you more creative.
What are the benefits of this pillow? Makes you more creative.
Better heart rate variability.
Yeah. Unless you don't like flying.
True.
Then your heart rate variability is off the charts. Mine's terrible. I'm seriously in just a white knuckled grip every time we fly.
And I used to not be scared of flying, and you made me scared because
Sorry.
I mean, when
and then I
someone
became
is
not afraid of
so
flying.
Scared, it's kind of like snakes. I didn't really think about snakes.
You should.
Well,
there are venomous ones out there.
Let me know. You've let me know.
Wouldn't you like to move to a place that doesn't have venomous snakes?
Where?
Minnesota.
They have no venomous snakes?
Does Minnesota have venomous snakes? Yeah, they have rattlesnakes. 2 kinds. But you hear them coming.
That's what the boys always say. At least rattlesnakes will give us a warning.
Unless you step on it when it wasn't looking.
I've met several people from Minnesota. Really like them. Really love Fox Meets Bear on Instagram. Love following her and her family. And Minnesota is about to ban the use of forever chemicals on couches. Step in the crunchy direction.
That's a really niche reason to move to Minnesota. Oh.
They're banning the use of...
But can they import couches that have...
No, like you are not allowed to sell couches that have forever chemicals.
Even online, you can't have it shipped in?
I don't know.
Because Okay.
Well, you see that. You see that on things that you're buying. Sometimes it's like not available for sale in Arkansas.
Oh.
Like, haven't you
So
seen
now it's
that
going to
kind
be
of
not
thing?
available for sale in Minnesota? Any couch ever? Nobody's going to have a couch in Minnesota then. They're just basically going to be couchless. They're all just going to be having chairs. Does it apply to chairs?
I love chairs.
Does it apply to chairs?
I think it applies to
Just
upholstered
couches.
furniture.
Or is it couches or upholstered furniture?
Well,
There's
what
a
I
difference.
read was couches, but
Well,
surely
if it's just couches, then they're all just going to sell chairs.
No. I'm going to believe it's upholstered furniture.
I'm going to believe this. This is my truth.
And I think
Don't
that
even live in Minnesota.
at least it's a step in the right direction. Like, at least somebody cares enough to make a law banning the use of forever chemicals.
Well, then it's just going to promote single-use sitting.
Single-use sitting.
One butt per... Yeah.
We did actually look at a place in Minnesota. You almost took a job there.
Find us, lose yourself, Fergus Falls.
Which we learned that cities pay people to make jingles for them, and those people reuse the jingles.
Yeah.
Like,
Find us, lose yourself.
Paducah.
Paducah doesn't do that.
Paducah doesn't have a jingle. I'm just saying, we heard the Find Us, Lose Yourself jingle for more than one place.
Pohick Bay.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. It's got to be Fergus Falls. Nowhere else. That's where I heard it. It'll always be Fergus Falls. Find us, lose yourself, Bangor, Maine.
You actually sort of got offered the job. And then 2 days later, they called and said,
you live too far away.
Yeah.
I don't think they wanted to pay my moving cost for the low cost paying job it was going to be.
What, $10 an hour?
Likely.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're not moving this guy. He's going to quit by the winter time.
Yeah.
Which we did. At the other
At
newspaper
the other
we
place
got.
that paid your moving expenses.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they did, didn't they?
They did.
We didn't sign a contract.
Ooh.
Their loss.
Ugh.
Sorry, Jessup, Georgia.
You were the reason that none of their future employees got their moving costs paid.
Likely.
Do you ever see that in your life whenever, like, you're like, this really should happen, but now you know why it didn't, because somebody messed it up for somebody else down the line.
Ooh, we should do an episode about the consequences of your actions.
Mine specifically?
Just yours, not mine. Well, I think travel... I just realized how loud we were when I heard an echo. I heard an echo of me talking, and it's like, oh, I think the whole camp is listening to our conversation. Like, they're having a really good conversation over there at that pop-up.
Well, and that's another thing about travel that I love. People are way more apt to come up and talk to you.
Yeah.
Like today, we were sitting out here. We're just sitting at our picnic table eating lunch, and this guy walks up and he's like, hey, I've kind of been wanting to get a pop-up. Can you tell me about it?
Mm-hmm.
And then you talked about it, and he's not the first one who came up. Another guy came up to me, and he was like, where'd your kids get those guns? Not real guns. They were... They were little pop guns. We got them at...
Hey, where'd your kid get those guns? It's really freaking me out.
Well, anyway, I got to talk to him.
You really approached that wrong.
That's what he said.
Yeah,
and I was like, you can borrow it if you want.
You really did not set up the audience well for that one.
So I let him take our gun. But then while we were talking about it, he said, my wife said we should get a camper, but I'm like, no, we need to start with a pop-up because we've never really done that. And so then I got to talk to him about the pop-up. I mean, people are just way more open to coming up and talking. Nobody's going to walk up to your house and say, been really thinking about getting a 2-story. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah.
like, I feel really lucky that people feel comfortable enough to come up to me and say, like, oh, I've seen your videos. Like, that just happened. I was in
conversation starter. Yeah.
It's a good conversation starter, and you can launch from there. So this one lady was like, oh, I've seen your stuff on Instagram. You homeschool, right? And I was like, yeah, do you homeschool? And then we got to talk about it. And so it was cool to talk to somebody else about homeschooling who's been doing it a lot longer and is a lot more qualified because her husband's a professor or something.
What are you saying?
I'm not saying anything about you.
I graduated college.
D's get degrees.
Yeah, baby. Look at our life. We're in a pop-up in the middle of like campground, and we only bought 2 bundles of firewood because they were $10 each. That was too much.
That's another thing about travel, though, that kind of is disheartening. I feel like you used to be able to experience more for free.
More for a lot cheaper, that's for sure.
Now people are capitalizing on inflation for sure.
We got a pizza yesterday with an appetizer, and it cost $100.
What?
It's like, well, our trip's gonna end quickly.
Yeah, or we just won't be eating
Or
pizza.
we're gonna be eating beans and rice and beans.
Yeah, I agree. And then we saw those big double-decker buses. We're like, oh, we should do that. That would be so fun for the boys
cool.
to ride on top of a bus. We did it in Rome. It was so fun.
With their little pop guns going.
I did tell them they're not allowed to pretend shoot in the city. And then they were crying. They were like, why? And I'm like, well, some kids, when they go to school and they pretend to do that, then they get expelled from school. And I don't know.
Will
somehow
they arrest us?
And I'm like, maybe. And you're like, don't say that.
And then after I said, don't say that, you're like, fine. And then they immediately go to just shooting at every plane that flies over.
Yeah, it's not my favorite.
Pew, 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 pew.
That was so
city.
cute that Alder,
Pew,
pew, pew, pew. He does the little Star Wars laser gun pew.
Uh-huh.
And the other night, he was pewing in his sleep. Pew, pew, pew,
Pew, pew, pew.
So cute. Like, you know how a baby who nurses, like in their sleep, makes that little sucking motion with their mouth? Then I think it's the same kind of thing. He's just so used to doing it that in his sleep.
Pew, pew,
Pew, pew, pew, pew.
It can be very pretentious to tell people, go travel, go do it, just travel, go do all these.
Can I say something really quick?
Yeah.
Hold that thought, because I didn't ever finish my thought about the bus.
Oh,
So we looked up how much it would be for us to take the bus tour, and it was $200, right?
it was over
3 hours.
$200 for 3 hours, stopping at each monument for 15 minutes.
But we could walk to the monuments.
To the
We
ones
did.
that they were going to go to, yeah.
Yeah, we just walked to them. It was crazy. Just
It's
wild.
too expensive.
You can't do it.
And that's why it feels a little pretentious to say, go travel, go see the world when you can. And while I say, yes, do that if you can, it's definitely understandable that a lot of people can't. We can travel in a small pop-up right now up the East Coast because we can work as we go right now. And that's
One
cool.
thing I've loved about being at this campground is seeing that families do crave adventure and they do want to get out and
well, that makes it
be
even
together.
more sad for how it's so expensive
But
to
I
do
met
that.
this guy and he's here with his daughters and I said, "Oh, where are you guys from?" And he said, "Oh, we just live 15 minutes from here.
And that's
just need
traveling.
to get out of our house." Yeah,
That's
that
traveling.
is
Get out
travel.
of the house.
Yeah,
Go see and stay more
Somewhere
than
new.
a night or two.
Yeah.
Somewhere else.
Yes.
Get out.
They even like came and did the crafts in the
Yeah.
pavilion, and
And it's providing a new experience for your
Yeah.
family.
so
Traveling can be local-ish. It can.
the phrase "staycation"
Mm-hmm.
is kind of
that's when you use
anti-travel.
it at home. I think a staycation is
Oh, no, I I think some people will stay in their city, right? Like experience their city, go to an Airbnb.
Not doing that in Paducah.
No, probably not. But I think you're right. Like you don't have to go on some big grand trip for it to be a grand adventure.
But if you can, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, but now I'm thinking like I could go to Nashville and there are opportunities to find lots of different cultures in a bigger city.
Certainly.
So you can experience the culture without actually having to go.
Yeah.
Even today, there's a whole little family of Korean kids playing on the playground, and they were all speaking Korean, and it was cool that my kids got to kind of be immersed in that for a little
which
bit.
They wouldn't have experienced in where we are currently.
No.
Yeah. I feel like travel has kind of made us who we are. It has definitely informed a lot of our decision making. It has changed our worldview in such a way. Travel, crunchy as a result of travel. Homeschool, potentially for a lot of it, the result of traveling, because we've met so many different people that have changed our perspective on many different things. And maybe I'm wrong, but you've said many times, like, your crunchy journey sort of started in Korea. And it sort of started when meeting your friend Victoria. It sort of started, like, there's a lot of just having gone and put yourself out there.
It's like threads in a tapestry.
Yeah.
And the more places you go, the more variety there is. And really, it just becomes so beautiful.
And it changes you into, hopefully the artist is really good. You don't want an ugly tapestry. Like, man, I traveled and I did some wild stuff, but it's not good. I messed my life up traveling.
I've never heard that from someone.
I don't think so either.
Thank you so much for listening to the Really Very Crunchy podcast yet another week. Be sure you check out our show notes. There's actually still time for you to buy tickets to the Cultivate Homestead Retreat if you're interested. Have a little chat around the campfire, learn some basket weaving, soap making, bow hunting, all sorts of things.
I'll be teaching the bow hunting.
He will not. It is only ladies, I think.
I won't be there.
So
if you're coming because of me,
sorry to
you
disappoint.
better try to sell your ticket.
Thanks again.
Bye.